Hit that music. Let's go. Salute. Salute Knicks streets. New York Knicks stop the skid. Pull off a big road win. The Road Warriors are back. The New York Knicks stop it and beat the LAKERS. Great performance from Julius Randle tonight. Started hot. What else is new in LA? Barrett stepped up late. Josh Hart playing that gritty defense with Isaiah Hartenstein stand up, putting the clamps on AD. This is a team victory tonight. Stand up. Much needed. And boy, can we breathe easy now with a rest week coming up next week. 3 days off. Jalen Brunson can heal up. And one more game of this West Coast trip. Salute to Knicks streets. Replay gang out here. The best fan base in the biz. And the best chat in the streets. Salute. Salute. Great win tonight. Boy, did we need this. Timely victory, man. It was tough. It was back and forth. But the Knicks won the fourth quarter, which was the most important thing tonight. Closed it out. And a great sequence towards the end, hitting clutch free throws, moving the ball around to avoid the foul. And we could get used to this, the New York Knicks closing out games well, which is amazing to see. 112 to 108. D'Angelo Russell was hot tonight. He did his best impression of a Knick killer to try to pull that one out for the Lakers. But the New York Knicks defense was the story for me tonight. The grittiness of Isaiah Hartenstein, Josh Hart led the way. Deuce McBride as well. Talk about guys needing to step up. We've been talking about it yesterday, the day before. To stop this skid, somebody needed to step up. And a lot of New York Knicks stood up tonight. Barrett pulled off like 11 points in a row. I think it was in the fourth, which was big. And Julius Randle started the game well, got plenty of rest tonight. And we closed it out with Josh Hart hitting those huge free throws. And Emmanuel quickly stepped up, obviously, to start in Jalen Brunson's absence. But the New York Knicks now go back to tied for the fifth. They're in the sixth spot, but tied for fifth with Brooklyn after Brooklyn pulled off a big win tonight against Denver. So you can't take nights off, boy. But this is huge for the New York Knicks now. Get up to 40 wins on the season. Stand up out here. And are tied for fifth, 40 and 30, with 3 days off next week after the final Portland game, which is going to be huge. But yeah, to hit that 40 wins now, it's huge to reach that milestone. How we feeling out here, fam? Salute to buzzer beater. Yep, absolutely feels great to hit that 40 win now. Yeah, Vegas had us at, I think, 37. We cannot breathe a lot easier now because, really to close this season out, there's a lot more winnable games. We play the Magic. We play the Pacers twice. We play the Wizards. We play the Rockets. We play the Pels. We play the Heat twice. So, could the Knicks still get to 47 wins, 48 wins? Huge possibility. Salute in the streets. Let's get it. Sharp Hours. How you feeling after this big win? This is a good team and we're back on track. So let's get it. Absolutely back on track. Yep, salute Will. Let's go. How we feeling after this? David. Salute all Knicks fans. Vote RJ. Tonight, thumbs up for RJ. Big time step up. And we needed it, We needed it in Brunson's absence. Will says Randle strikes back. They couldn't keep young Rowe out the paint. Lakers Nation is in meltdown. Good night. Indeed, a great night. Great night, Will. Big solid win on the road. It feels good to stop the skid. I almost forgot what it feels like to win a game, fam. I mean, you win 9 straight, and then you have to suffer 3 straight losses, it kind of gets at you, the way we've been losing as well. But as you see on screen, we have Portland, then we play Denver and Mini back at MSG, and then we hit the road to the Heat and the Magic, and then back home against the Rockets. So, and as you see on the standings, the New York Knicks are still tied for fifth in sixth spot, equal with the New Jersey Nets, and are still not far off the Cleveland Cavaliers, and a bit of separation against the Miami Heat. So if we win at least one of those Heat games, it's going to be critical coming up. One's at home and one's away. So that's going to be big. But the story of tonight was the defense and closing it out, finally winning a fourth quarter, 27-22, which was huge on the road to win the fourth quarter. It looked a bit dicey. They did their best comeback impression, but the New York Knicks fortunately didn't do any kind of big follies. They didn't foul, didn't give up 3-point plays. I thought they just closed it out nicely. Obviously it was a little bit too close for comfort, but we hit our free throws. Salute Josh Hart. Man, what a pickup. Josh Hart. He's a New York Knick written all over him, and he definitely reps that number 3 like John Starks would, making him proud tonight. He was 73% from the line coming in, and he hit those 2 clutch free throws to seal the deal, fam. How we feeling? Jarvis LaFleur's in the house. Salute. And Will says, shout out to iHart for locking down AD. Absolutely, man. Huge performance from iHart. He gets all that and some for that, man. Yeah, he was flopping all over the place. But yeah, without D'Angelo Russell's hot shooting, this thing would have been a lot more comfortable tonight, fam. But yeah, Julius Randle striking back, hitting a huge 11 of 24, 33 points, with Rowan Barrett's 30 points as well. Quickly chimed in with 15. And then we had Josh Hart and a McBride with 8 each off the bench, with big minutes from Obi Toppin. Again, 2 big games in a row from Toppin, 9 points plus 5 in just 12 minutes. Hit 4 of 6 as well, and a 3-pointer. But like Will said, man, Isaiah Hartenstein, we don't win this game without him and his critical contributions. 3 offensive rebounds, 7 defensive, 10 total, 2 assists, 2 steals, a block, a team high plus 19 with no points. Let that sink in. Man, I don't care if he didn't score a single bucket. He was money tonight in his 24 minutes, locking down AD. Salute to iHeart. Big Task got kicked out of some Laker channels. They represent. Big Task represent orange and blue all the way, through and through. Yep, salute. Chat buzzing right now, smashing that like button, because yeah, this win means a lot for the psyche. I think more than anything, you start to dwell on a skid, but when you can finally stop it on the road against a good team, they've got extra depth. It was a good first look, at the Lakers' new lineup with Malik Beasley, Hashimura, Austin Reeves. They had Vanderbilt, D'Lo Russell, like I said, trying to be a Nick killer, going up against Randle and Hart, his former teammates. But we got the better end of tonight, which was huge. So looking at the box score, the wire-to-wire score, 31-27 in the first quarter. Great start for the New York Knicks. They started slow in the first quarter, but they closed the first quarter out really well. 31-32 in the second. But it was the third quarter that came out a little bit slow. The Lakers made their run. They, got the crowd back into it a little bit with D'Lo's hot shooting. I thought Dennis Schroeder had a solid game defensively. He was a pest. Malik Beasley got off the chain a few times for some buckets. But yeah, Deuce McBride as well. Deuce McBride was critical to tonight. Jeff Van Gundy and the announcement crew were giving him his flowers all night long. Just playing hustle, energy plays, making the right reads. Plus 15 tonight from Deuce. Big 8 points. Hit 2 of 4 from deep. let that sink in. So salute Deuce McBride in 17 minutes, hit 3 of 5. Those minutes were invaluable. What Deuce gave us tonight, talk about winning on the road shorthanded. Definitely our roster held up strong and punked the LA Lakers roster tonight on the road. The stage was set for the Lakers. This could have been the first time that they got to 500 on the season. So this win, this win tonight for the Lakers would have meant a lot, and they came out tough. But the New York Knicks answered the bell, and Julius Randle, like I said last night on the show with EJ, I did not feel like the New York Knicks would leave this West Coast trip without a dub. It just would have been catastrophic. And unfortunately tonight things went our way. We did it on the defensive side, and we buckled down. Together with a 30 piece from Randle and Barrett, just feels great. Amazing stuff. Stepping up in Brunson's absence, we saw him on the sideline, tonight, and he definitely looked proud. He looked proud of the team, rallying in his absence. Yeah, and this is big. So, back to 10 games over 500. Like I said, we got the Trailblazers, and then we have 3 days off, which is huge. Finally, the schedule, we're kind of over that toughest part now. This is that final hurdle just to get over, so that the New York Knicks can make their way to the playoffs. On the road to the playoffs. Now, some other notes I have: the Knicks won points in the paint. And if you've been following that all season long, majority of the time the Knicks can win points in the paint. They usually win the game. So that hadn't been the case recently. So it's good to get back to our habits. And we won points in the paint. RJ Barrett was a big piece of that tonight, getting into the paint. Uh, he only shot 1 of 8 from deep, but he was 12 of 27. But fortunately, a lot of those finishes were timely, getting to the bucket was RJ Barrett. You can't say enough for that stretch in the fourth when it looked icy. That's what got us separation, and that's what got us momentum. So shout out to Bully Barrett for finally bouncing back. He pulled in 6 rebounds, 2 assists, just 1 turnover, and I was a 0 in the plus minus 30 points. So yeah, big time performance on the offensive end from Bully Barrett. 12 of 27, and he played 39 minutes, so almost 40 minutes tonight. You guys tell me, what was your most favorite look from Barrett tonight? That little spin move, and I like the fact that he was aggressive, taking it to Austin Reeves. He knew he had the size advantage, and he was going at Austin Reeves. So that's great. We needed somebody to step up offensively again in Brunson's absence, and to get 30 points from each of our top offensive players tonight got it done, as well as our great role playing from Josh Hart, Deuce, and iHart. Yep. Yeah. David says another fourth quarter. RJ was awesome. Yeah. Salute for that. There was still some head scratching plays. Boy, man, it was helter skelter. There was still a lot of that um, turnover situation. Passing the ball around like a hot potato, and late shot clock stuff. But fortunately, the Lakers didn't make us pay. They didn't punish us. I thought they missed some timely buckets that would have tightened the screws a lot. Yeah, and no doubt the New York Knicks offense did stagger towards the end. Emmanuel quickly got clamped down by Schroeder, and Julius Randle. Like I said, some late shot clock stuff, but it was Barrett really in that fourth quarter that got us that separation, which was absolutely huge, man. Big Task says Barrett put Beasley on the bench. You said it. Great point. Big Task, big up, big up. Queen's Place, salute. How we feeling after this big win? The New York Knicks now 10 games over, 40 wins on the season with 11 to play. So how we feeling, fam? I think 11 to play. Let's say we go around 500, we could easily get to 46, 47 wins, and have ourselves a situation where we could finish fourth, still fifth, fourth. it's looking better by the day with this situation. Obviously, Jalen Brunson is still the big talk on this situation for the season, but um, how much time will he miss? Well, with the 3 days break, it's great, perfect timing for this situation. And it's definitely going to be a situation where he doesn't need to play against Portland. You know, we're playing with house money as the Portland Trailblazers continue to flounder out west. They are third to last in the West and 13th spot at 31 and 37. The Portland Trailblazers got absolutely waxed the other night. It was a critical game for them to win, and they got waxed by the New Orleans Pelicans yesterday or today, I think. So big time game coming up against the Knicks. They're going to be fired up for that, but I don't think we need to risk Brunson. I really don't. So yeah, that's a situation that's in our favor. Um, also, Julius Randle now hits his 21st 30-point game on the season. Salute Julius for that. So, yeah, elite Knicks company. How many can he get to? I think he can finish on 25, 26 with 11 games remaining. There we see the franchise record for the season is Patrick Ewing with 36 30-point games on a season. I think Julius Randle's going to surpass Amari Stoudemire's 22 for the season in 2010. And I think he's going to pass Carmelo Anthony's, one of Carmelo Anthony's seasons when he got 25, I think. So yeah, with 11 games remaining, Julius Randle got those 30-point games coming up thick and fast. So he hits to 21 on the season. That's more than a quarter of the games he's playing. And mind you, he has not missed a game. Mr. Iron Man, Julius Randle, carries this team, carries the load. So again, salute to Julius Randle on the season he's had so far with 21 30-point games already. That's more than a quarter of his games. He's scoring you 30 points. So Mr. All NBA, I think, coming up, I think, for this season. And of course, Jalen Brunson's sitting on 16. So I really feel like, yeah, Julius Randle's deserving of that All NBA. A big finish coming up to the season as the road to the playoffs begin. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Streets, we out here buzzing, smashing that like button. We got David in the house. Salute. David says, we really needed this win to improve my life tonight after catching my wife. Oh, man. Apologies for that, man. Blessings. Hope everyone's well with that situation. David says, yeah, Grant went off on us the first time we played them. So step up, Randall and RJ. Yeah, Grant will play small forward, most likely. Yeah, Brunson should just chill out on the Blazer game. 100%. I think he will. I think he will. Maybe Jeremy Grant is auditioning, yeah, for the Knicks. Yeah, I think the smart thing to be would be to have Brunson, you know, even if he's not 100%, even if we're back in New York, he means so much to this team and we've proven we can win without him, you know, as tough as it is. I think the fact that we've secured our 40th win of the season now, and we only need to go less than 500. We only need to go 5-6 for the rest of the way to win 45 games, which was my prediction. So I think we're closer to avoiding that play-in and securing what would be a huge playoff berth for us, you know, and a big experience coming into the playoffs. There was some news earlier today, which we'll chop up throughout tonight's show, but the Knicks re-signed Trevor Keels to a two-way contract, and they waived Moses Brown after having him having him for 4 days. He put up a huge stat line in Westchester, but you know, I don't know what to make of this. I think Moses Brown, maybe they just wanted to bring him into the facility, you know, get a good look at him, you know, and make a decision. Because I think Trevor Keels has been playing well, solid in the Westchester Knicks as well. So maybe they wanted to bring Moses Brown in to get a better look at him. But he had a great game with Westchester, but we don't know what happened. He's waived now 4 days later, and the Knicks have locked up Trevor Keels now. That draft pick, a lot's been made of the Knicks, and hit, not hitting on that pick so far. But Trevor Keels is in the squad now, and on a two-way deal. He's going to get a chance to stick around maybe for next season, for the future. But yeah, all eyes now on this road to the playoffs after this big win tonight. The Knicks lost fast break points, 21-25. But I thought, yeah, Obi Toppin's minutes were incredibly solid as well. Just the entire bench tonight was amazing. The bench tonight, it was so productive. +5 Toppin, +19 for Hart, +15 for Deuce, +13 for Hart. So that's every single player that was on the court from off the bench was helping this team win and was productive as well. And Hartenstein didn't score, like I said, but what an amazing game, shutting down AD and pulling in 10 rebounds with 3 offensive and being a +19 with just 1 personal foul as well, which needs to be made note. Salute D. Cool. How we feeling after this big win? New York Knicks streets buzzing. If we stop that skid, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about our chances against Portland now. I really feel like we can end this road trip on a high, on a 2-game winning streak, and let's carry that back to MSG as we face the Denver Nuggets and Minnesota, which is going to be another few critical games coming up right before the Heat, and very winnable games against the Magic and the Rockets, baby. So we have 11 games remaining. The 50 burger is still a chance, but we can only afford to lose one more game, of course. So we're going to chop up the road ahead. I think out of these games remaining, we beat Portland. I feel like we off this win tonight, the high, the grittiness, the toughness we showed, we bring that into Portland, and I think we win. I think Denver, we have a really good chance if Brunson returns. If Brunson's not 100%, sit him down, and we might lose that one. Then Minnesota, I think we win that one. Then the Heat away, I think we can win that one as well. I think Brunson will be back by then. And then we need to sweep the Magic, and we need to sweep the Rockets as well. And there you have it on screen. 5 out of the next 6 would have the Knicks at 45 wins with 5 games remaining, which would be hot. A couple games against the Pacers, the Wizards, a game against the Pelicans, and another game against the Heat. So that'd be crazy. If the Knicks do win 5 out of these next 6, then all they got to do is win out for the rest of the remaining 5. And there's your 50 burger, ladies and gentlemen, and the promise I made, which was to do a live stream in front of the barbecue, tossing those burgers and the shrimp on the barbie. If the Knicks can get to that 50 piece, I promise, then I'll do it. But yeah, that's the way it could happen. We can only afford to lose one more game for that to happen. But I realistically feel like the Knicks should finish with 46, I think 45 to 47, games. I think realistically around about there. I think it all depends on when he's back. D Cool says Melo announced he's retiring. Man, salute if that is the case. That's surprising for me. Maybe he's waited. No teams come calling. Let's pull this baby up. But yeah, that'd be insane if that is the case, with Melo potentially announcing his retirement. That Denver game's, yeah, going to be huge. Big task. Absolutely. Yeah. Brunson should be back, I feel. So, yeah, we could beat anybody. David says we need JB fresh and ready for these Heat games. Screw the rest. Yeah. Look, that's a great point. We win these winnable ones like against the Magic, the Rockets. We beat Minnesota. We beat the Pacers a few times. And then the Heat games is all we really need in order to finish with 46, 47 wins. And beating the Heat is the most critical thing to locking up that fifth or sixth seed. And the Brooklyn Nets, man, pulling off a big win against the Denver Nuggets. Uh, you know, could that have been just, a situation where all the things went right? I don't see the Brooklyn Nets, winning all of their games coming up towards the end. They're an okay team. They got solid depth, but they don't have, enough superstars or stars anymore, I think, to be too much of a threat. So, I've got to look at their schedule, but the Brooklyn Nets, I would foresee them to fall down to the sixth or seventh spot. Can the Heat pick things up? That's going to be a huge test. But the New York Knicks are in a great position now as we continue to get healthier, hopefully. Um, yeah, it's bittersweet. Yeah, hearing that Melo's retiring. No doubt there'll be a lot of talk about that to come, and reflecting on his career. Obviously, he was probably hoping that the New York Knicks, would give him a 10-day or sign him, but we signed Trevor Keels. The New York Knicks situation's tied up now after this big win as we get into the road to the playoffs. I really think that the Knicks are looking good for fifth right now. Fourth's going to be tough because we do need the Cleveland Cavaliers to drop a few games. So that's going to be tough. Um, so we have some quotes from the Lakers coach, Darvin Ham. He said post-game that the majority of what the Knicks did tonight came as a result of the Lakers' mistakes. I don't agree with that. I think the Knicks forced them to make mistakes, Give our defense credit. Isaiah Hartenstein, put some respect on his name. Josh Hart, he was all over the place tonight. Put some respect on his name. Deuce McBride as well. So yeah, these guys really made it tough. Um, Julius Randle continues to play every game. So salute to you, Julius. Tom Thibodeau, a stubborn A coach, refuses to rest him or sit him. Tom said on if he's ever tried to tell Julius to sit out for a game, he says, I don't understand the question. And that's coming from Fred Katz. So he's trying to play ignorant with that situation, man. Um, truth be told, we need Julius now more than ever. And when Brunson comes back, that's when Julius can take it a little bit more lightly. Like kind of, he could sit out some possessions in the game at least. As Jalen Brunson goes to work, gets into his flow, gets into the groove, and puts up a load of the scoring. So I think now's the most important time for Julius for the Knicks, that we need him more than ever while Brunson's out. But as soon as Brunson gets back, Julius Randle, the game's going to come easier again to him when he doesn't really need to force, too much. We saw Brunson in a boot court side. So it was more of a protective measure just in case he got kicked or stepped on. And in terms of wearing it away from the court, he doesn't wear it, away from the court. So that's good news. That's good news, fam. And yeah, like Buzzer says, RJ does need to keep stepping up in these games as well. I like that. Yeah, I like what I saw from young Barrett tonight, stepping up big. Salute Buzzer for that. In the clutch too. To put up that many points in the fourth quarter. I think he had 11 or 13 in the fourth quarter points. Talk about closing out a big game on the road. Barrett was huge to tonight's victory and playing 39 minutes as well and reasonably efficient. 12 of 27 ain't too bad considering he shot 1 of 8 from deep, which was insane. And he shot 5 of 6 from the line. So excellent work, RJ. I love those moves. I love the aggression late. There was a couple of plays where he still could have kicked it out, but he took over, he scored, and we needed that. with Brunson out, we needed that scoring. So I'm not going to get on RJ's for 2 assists tonight. We needed his scoring. Yep. I hope Darvin is enjoying his first and last season as head coach. Salute, Will. Yeah, LeBron's going to have his say, especially when they get Kyrie next season. I think Kyrie's coming for that. Julius Randle's quotes after the game, when interviewed courtside, he said, "My mental's sharp. Games like that happen. I work on my craft. I know what I put into my craft. I'm not going to second guess myself just because I had a bad game. Come back next game and be better." I think that's to Lisa Salters. So salute. But Julius is 33, 8-5 on his huge bounce back after the tough loss the day before, against the Clippers. So, reflecting so far on this road trip, Nick Streets, although we lost against Sacramento and we lost against the Clippers, the performances were the effort was admirable. And tonight's big win, so far, this road trip really ain't been too bad, considering without Jalen Brunson. So, yes, Randall had a meltdown last time, but he bounced back tonight. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. So that's huge for these Bockers, for the Knicks to pull it out. And of course, Portland awaits. So we could really finish this road trip off really hot, heading back to MSG, with momentum. But now we're riding this wave, fam. Stand up, Knicks Nation, all the diehards in the streets. We're 40 wins on this season now. How does that have you feeling? Give us your thoughts. Give us your emotions. I want to hear it. In terms of Buzz's question, CT, what was RJ's key to having a good game? I think his key was he was a bit more under control for me, Buzzer. Great question. He was calculated. He saw the defense part and he saw the mismatch. Austin Reeves, he took advantage. And he also had a really nice fast break finish as well out on the break, which was late in the game as well. So overall, yeah, the key to having a good game was, I guess, his mental approach as well. Barrett doesn't seem to get down too much when he's had a bad game or two. He's always likely to bounce back and have a good game after he's had a few bad games. So I could salute RJ's mental approach, for that. But yeah, he was physically dominant tonight. He took it to the cup and he finished strong. I agree. We should be beating Portland. We should start favorite, but we can't kind of take any game lightly. So I feel good with our depth. Quickly stepping up, Hart stepping up. If we can get this performance from Isaiah Hartenstein on the regular, man, it's a wrap. Mitchell Robinson didn't have it going tonight, and Isaiah Hartenstein stepped up like a quality backup starting caliber center tonight. He was playing like a starting caliber guy. Yep, Fabian's on point. Salute, Fabian. Yep, feeling good and attacking the paint. Yep, Queen's Place feeling good, like we know we should after this. 40 wins. Yeah, you guys give me your predictions now. With 11 games remaining and 40 wins in the bank, how many victories do the Knicks finish with? I'm going to say 50 burger is a real chance if we can win 5 out of the next 6. Yep. Yeah, keep the chat buzzing. Smashing that like button here on the streets. Yeah, Carmelo Anthony, if you're just joining us, I haven't seen the news just yet, but the chat's come through with the buzz that Carmelo Anthony could be retiring or is retiring. So, it was surprising initially, but the more I think about it, it's probably good for his name to not just be hanging out there waiting for a team to sign him, just call it a day. Know when your time is up, I guess. But yeah, a bittersweet end to that. Also, some news from Bobby Marks that Isaiah Hartenstein just got paid. He got a 700K bonus for minutes played and team wins as part of his contract. So let's have a salute to that. 700K bonus for Isaiah Hartenstein kicks in for his performance this season based on minutes played and team wins. So that's a nice little incentive there, man. The New York Knicks, Leon Rose, looking after CAA, bruz. Looking after him with that situation. So dinner's on you, iHart, for the squad. But well deserved, man. Well deserved. We don't win tonight without him stepping up. Him stepping up big. Combined stats for iHart and Deuce, 12 rebounds each, 5 offensive each, between the two, I mean. 5 steals between the two, 2 threes, and a block, plus 17 between iHart and Deuce tonight. So that was huge. It feels really, really good. But RJ Barrett stepping up with Randle has got to have this squad and Brunson feeling real nice, because we could continue to not sweat Brunson's return as we have only one more game on the road. So yeah, that's the great thing with this big win tonight. Boy, would the pressure have mounted if we had lost tonight. So he gets the monkey off the back with Randle's meltdown last game and Barrett's struggles recently. So those guys have bounced back in a big way with a 112-108 victory. Our 2 lead dogs scoring, and our other dogs locking down with Hart, Deuce, and iHart out there. And a salute to Quickly too for his all-around performance. Tonight. We'll go through the box score soon. But yeah, buzzing after this. Fabian says 48 wins. I like that, fam. I like that. Yeah, that would be really nice. And I think what you would have to think that would give us fifth or fourth for real, with 8 more wins. What's Cleveland sitting on? Cleveland sitting on 43 wins right now. So maybe not fourth. I could see maybe Cleveland winning at least 3, 4, 5 more. But I think that would have us in fifth. 48 wins. That would be a great closeout for this season. Father Time salute. Who's that coming to the court? It's Willis Reed. Chamberlain and the Lakers in disbelief. Appreciate you for that. Salute. Yep. Let's get back to those magical playoff moments that we could see these Knicks create. Now, it's been a long time since the Knicks have won a playoff series, 2013 against the Celtics, closing that out. Yeah, Buzz is on point. David as well. Yeah, Deuce. Underrated. Really, really underrated is Deuce. And it was music to my ears hearing Jeff Van Gundy. Salute to an old school guy. Throwback. Where's Virginia? Stand up. Deuce McBride causing terror. Wreaking amok out there. In his 17 minutes, he was a plus 15. That's playing your role, man. Like The Rock says, know your role. With that situation, man, he knew his role. He came in locked down. He was disruptive and causing all sorts of havoc. Knicks 26 champs was at this game. Knicks fans represent, and you represent LA well. Salute, fam. Man, that would have been great tonight. I didn't hear the Knicks crowd so much, but to be honest, the Lakers crowd was pretty quiet tonight as well. Without Bron, probably a lot of those tourists came out to see LeBron, fam. Fabian says McBride player of the game behind RJ. You could give it to a lot of guys tonight. No lies on that situation. But yeah, I like what you said. I love it. Knicks 26 champs says iHart player of the game, shutting down the other star on the other end. 2 of our stars came to play, and AD was shut down, so that was big. D'Angelo Russell got off the leash though, so he was hot. We would have to go 10-2 to hit that 50 win mark. Yep, Yeah, like we chopped up earlier, Fabian. I think there's only 11 games remaining, if I'm not wrong. Let me just quickly count them all, go through it. Um, no, yeah, you're right. Actually, I was wrong before. We have 12 games remaining. So, yeah, we could definitely lose 2 more and still get the 50 burger. So, it's possible. It really is. Like you said, 10-2. Look out. Yeah. Looks like we had many players of the game. Many. Yeah. Um, some guys scoring and some other guys defending and clamping down, which was big. But, something that might get lost tonight, but the most satisfying thing for me is winning the fourth quarter. You know, it really don't matter what happens in the first, the second, the third. When it's money time, you got to stand up. And the New York Knicks won the fourth quarter on the road, 27-22, thanks to RJ Barrett's big buckets and clutch play down the stretch. Sharing the ball around, man. I couldn't believe how composed we were. Passing that rock around with like 15 seconds to go. The Lakers were trying to foul. They couldn't find a body. It was like pass it long, pass it short. It found its in the way in the hands of Josh Hart, 73% from the line on the season, and he stepped up, man. He stepped up and hit nothing but net on both of them, with the crowd going insane. So that was great. Josh Hart, made of steel, that guy, man. He's built for this situation. Talk about a New York Knick that's built for this team. Josh Hart is a man of all hour. He knows when it's money time and he knows when it's time to compete and lock down. Yep. I like this too, Knicks. 8-4 is very reasonable. Yep. We have the Pacers twice. We have the Rockets. We have the Magic. We have the Heat twice. We have the Minnesota at home, which is very winnable. Yeah, I think 6, 7, 8 more wins, with or without Brunson, is very realistic. So let's get it, Knicks Nation. Let's celebrate after this. Hitting 40 wins now. Vegas can kick rocks. ESPN's projections can kick rocks. And salute to everyone who picked and guessed the Knicks would get 40 wins or above. And I'm one of them. I went on record and I said 45 wins. I think EJ gave us 40 as well, 40 or 41. Mark Berman gave us 41 and 41. So salute. Ilmatics is on point. The whole bench gets the game ball. Yep. We need about 5 game balls to give out tonight. So that's a positive sign. That really is. That means that the New York Knicks didn't rely on 1 or 2 guys tonight to pull this one out. It was a complete team effort. But yeah, it's hard to look past RJ for finishing the game strong. Queens yet gives RJ his flowers, and David vote RJ number 1. There were some issues too, though, like Knicks 26 champ says, finishing around the hoop um, towards the end. Uh, Earlier in the fourth, he was finishing strong, but I think decision making is still a big area of improvement. Yeah. Without McBride's steals, we lose the game too. So that's another great point, fam. 3 steals for Deuce, 2 to iHart. So combined 5 steals between the two. Yep. I think this squad probably had a nice talking with the coach coming in, and he was like, guys, listen up, right? For us to pull out a road win without Jalen, we're going to have to get gritty tonight. We're going to have to get down and dirty against these Lakers and a New York City ball. That the way that we won tonight was in true Knicks fashion. Yep, Josh Hart leading the way with his effort, and it was just amazing pickup, fam. Yep, Knicks front office some love for that. Yep, pickup. He fits like a glove, no doubt. He was born to wear the New York Knicks jersey, and I think he's been a player that Tom Thibodeau has been, he's been trying to get for a minute. And that said, Leon used to rep him. Leon Rose used to represent him, so that's big. And salute to everyone this season so far, for Julius, for Barrett tonight, but Brunson season, and getting us to 40 wins. Yep. Yeah, so it's just crazy. We have a quote from D'Angelo Russell on ex-Laker Julius Randle. I'm a fan of his game, no relationship. We played together and went out our separate ways after that. It's just been competitive energy ever since then. That's how I am with everybody. I'm not really friends with anybody on the court. There's no love. So, yeah, that's a D-Lo's quotes on Julius. So, yeah, it doesn't look like those guys had much of a relationship. So, yeah, Barrett bounced back in a big way. But Josh Hart, 8 points, 2 of 2 from the line, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, plus 13. Stand up for Josh Hart, just making huge plays down the stretch. And I've been saying he's going to win us a playoff game or two. That's no hyperbole, because think about it. Late in a playoff game, down the stretch, like tonight, he's that kind of guy you want on the floor. Man, he's a junkyard dog, going to get after people. What was my moment of the game? Man, there was so many moment of the games, but RJ Barrett's late shot clock heave. The ball was tossed around. It was a bang bang play, a scramble. Found it on the elbow, and he caught it, rose up, and it looked money from the get go. That was a huge play that made it from 7 up to 10 points, which was ended up exactly what we needed to seal the deal, with those free throws and to get up 4. So that's my play of the game, for RJ Barrett to hit that huge 3. That was kind of like the knife in the Lakers' back with that huge play. Yeah, hitting those those open threes is going to be huge, like you said. That's what's going to separate us from a lot of these playoff teams, really, and get to that elite level. I think the way they key in on Brunson and Randle in the playoffs, boy, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for RJ to punish these cats, for doubling Randle and for doubling Brunson as well. So that's something we can look forward to. Um, I'm higher on our playoff play than others. My expectation is that we'll be solid in the playoffs because we've got amazing role players, amazing elite defenders on the perimeter. We have depth at the big man spot, and we have guys that can put the ball in the cup. So what it's going to come down to for me is execution in these playoffs. But double Randle at your peril, because Brunson hopefully is healthy. He's there. You double Brunson at your peril, and Julius Randle can go off, and RJ Barrett is going to get less attention too. So he attacks the closeout like tonight, and RJ Barrett's going to be eating. He's going to be feasting. It all comes down to how well he can finish at the cup. That's going to be huge. Salute man child. That's good. How we feeling after this? He says Deuce and iHart are the players of the game tonight. Unsung heroes. I love it. Yeah, Knicks Nation knows ball out here. Jarvis says, early in the season, I projected at least 42 wins. We will exceed that. I projected possibly 4th, 5th, or 6th seed. Knicks are in a great position, good position to hit on all projections. Yeah, salute Jarvis. Salute for that. Solid predictions. Even 42 was higher than most people still, and I think we've got to give you your flowers for that now. Now that we've hit 40 already, we're in cruise control, basically. Um, Obviously, we got the Brooklyn Nets. They're like that pesky little younger brother or sister that you just can't get off your back. So I want to get your thoughts, everyone, on the Brooklyn Nets. What are you guys thinking about them now? Should they be taken more seriously? A lot of people tried to discard the Nets. Talking about they're gonna fall down. But they made a statement win earlier. Earlier, they beat the Denver Nuggets 122 to 120. They've got Dinwiddie. They've got Mikal Bridges. They've got Cam Johnson, Nick Claxton, Royce O'Neal, still, Seth Curry, Joe Harris. So they've got a whole team of role players basically. So I think they're going to win a couple games, but I don't see them as being a major threat. I really don't. IQ, yeah, IQ stepping up in Brunson's absence. I like it. And RJ definitely been finishing better lately. Um, you put in the work, things are going to turn around. Practice, 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 I think. Um, for me, it's also about decision making with RJ. You know, there are times when he absolutely can get to the cup on a mismatch, like Austin Reeves tonight. Attack a mismatch that's in your favor. But what I would like RJ to do is to not force an attack. You know, if you're on a bigger guy, like let's say Hashimura, or a longer guy like Kelly Oubre, be smart about it, Be smart about it. Don't premeditate that you're going to try to finish in traffic, and be open to the kick out. Yeah, yeah, the Brooklyn Swamp Dragons, yeah, they're kind of like a mishmash kind of squad, right? Like the Monstars. Yeah. Yeah, very rational, Jarvis. Yep. Although there's that emotion there, there's that hate, but you got to take teams seriously. You got to take the net seriously too. I think that win against Denver really, for me, opened my eyes that the Brooklyn Nets might not go away, unfortunately. Like that gnat at the barbecue, that younger brother or sister that you just can't shake, you know. That that clingy ex that you just can't get off your back. That the Arkansas, New Jersey Swamp Dragon Nets. You know, let's see. It's going to be fascinating. If they do make the playoffs ahead of the Heat, I'll be the first ones to salute them, because they deserve that. I think, if the Brooklyn Nets finish ahead of the Heat, um, they deserve those flowers. But they've got a decent squad still. Like I said, those guys can play, and a team with a lot of role players that are willing to buy into a role can be dangerous as well. So, they could still give teams some issues. Yeah, we got to talk a bit about Quentin Grimes, a great point man child, because yeah, he was getting on my nerves a bit tonight. Um, One of the things I noticed was his big turnover. It was early in the first half, but it was the way he's been turning the ball over a lot, and that's dribbling to the cup and then not knowing what he's going to do. He decides at the very last minute, and he ends up passing it back out in traffic. So I would like Grimes to attack a closeout, but attack it with a bit more, ability to slow down towards the end, and give yourself more time to make that correct pass. Not leave your feet all the time. And I think that's a learning curve situation. Um, but in terms of shooting, he was 2 of 4 and 1 of 3 from deep, so -5 points. So, he didn't shoot a lot, but he didn't shoot bad either. I think he was just lost in the game. Defensively, he struggled as well. Uh, he was getting, he was, giving D'Lo that extra step, and of course, D'Lo was just pulling up in his face. So, maybe that was the game plan. I don't know, but I didn't expect D'Angelo Russell, to shoot the way he's been shooting like tonight. Dirty's in the house, salute. RJ gets in trouble when he tries to extend to draw a foul instead of staying strong. Yep, 100% agree. You said it. Um, Another extension to that thought is I've noticed he tries to avoid contact as well, um, which is kind of what you mean as well. I think he's too cognizant of the defense, and he just needs to go strong. With that said, he's a big body, and once he leaves his feet, you're not going to get a charging call. So yeah, just go strong and don't try to avoid the contact. Yep. Stanley says Nets pulled one out against Jokic. They double and triple teamed him. They shot the ball really well, and Dinwiddie can break anyone down. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Yeah, you're on point. Um, Uh, Also, he adds the Nets have a difficult schedule a more difficult schedule than the Knicks. They play Cleveland back to back. Yep. Yeah, so that could be telling. Um, and I really could see the Nets clinging on to that sixth spot, finishing ahead of the Heat. The Heat look pretty gassed right now, but that would be a huge achievement for the Nets to stay in the playoffs. I think if they fall back to the play-in, all bets are off for the Nets. So I think that's what they're trying to do. I don't think this big win against the Nuggets means that the Nets are going to suddenly start beating everybody. I think every team has their big win, and then usually they fall back into their to their averages. So, like you said, Cleveland back to back, that's going to be tough. But also the vibes could be good. Like Manchal says, they're not playing with too much pressure anymore. No KD, no Kyrie, no divas in the locker room. Dinwiddie is back where he feels familiar. Mikal Bridges is finally in a situation where he's getting, ample opportunities to put up big minutes. Um, Cam Thomas now isn't even getting minutes anymore, so that's interesting. Um, Dirty loves the pump fake and the go quick dunks from Grimes. Yeah, the baseline attack I like. It's his decision making when he gets close to the cup and he seems like he changes his mind the last minute. I think he needs to trust himself to finish. I think more in traffic. And on that note, he did finish one really well in traffic tonight. That was a big play tonight when the Lakers were trying to rally and make a run, and Jeff Van Gundy and the crew absolutely were on point. That he thought he got fouled, and I thought he got fouled as well. I think that's the one where you go with conviction and you try to finish strong. Uh, Java says, interesting to me is that the Knicks are not a finished product and we are still building this team, yet we are being competitive and fight every game. Yeah, great point, Jarvis, too. Yeah, we can see a bigger ceiling on this team, but these role players on certain nights are playing so well that it makes you think like we could really make noise this season, but then we have another gear to go to as well. So unfortunately, in the off season, I think someone's going to lose out some spots, but hopefully that makes them feel like they just need to go all in on this playoff push. Deuce McBride, just give it his all. Isaiah Hartenstein, nothing's promised. And these guys may feel like they may never be in this situation again. That's the way you got to approach it, I think. Um, yeah, Grimes was very hesitant. Obviously, 25 minutes to only put up 4 shots. That's great observation as well. You know, Shooting less than 10 times for a starting wing is an issue. Um, Maybe as part of the Lakers scheme was to kind of close him down, make sure he doesn't get off the chain early. But that's a situation now where he's in a bit of an offensive slump at the moment. He's definitely second guessing. Uh, Mitchell Robinson struggled tonight. AD was making the most of that matchup, but Isaiah came in. He picked his man up, and that's big too, man, child. So Mitch didn't have it going. Maybe he's dealing with something we don't know, but he definitely got the worst off of that matchup. AD, is still that cat on different nights, and but the good thing is it wasn't enough. D'Angelo Russell after the loss, He says they started trapping me and trying to get the ball out my hands. I got to find ways to capitalize on that and try to make them pay next time for trapping me. So does that sound familiar? That sounds like what teams are going to do to Jalen Brunson. I think, when Jalen Brunson's hot like D'Lo was, you're going to look out for that trap. Um, Another positive thought tonight's game is the zone. The Knicks handled the zone really well. I think they were patient. They passed the ball around, and they tried to get into the middle and baseline. So I was really proud of that for these Knicks. They didn't falter. When the zone came, so that was big. Big game on the road. But yeah, basically, yeah, Josh Hart. Everyone had a play in slowing down Russell tonight. But truth is, his shots were a lot of them were open shots, but they were deep. And a player's not going to hit those shots all night long. So um, unless you're Damian Lillard or Steph Curry, I'm okay with giving D'Angelo Russell those deep threes because even if he was getting more off, I don't think he was going to hit them all night. Eventually he's going to get cold. Um, yeah, this is true too. Grimes getting big assignments. Sometimes his offense is going to struggle as a result. He's a sophomore and he's still growing as a player, still learning to balance his game out. If you guys notice, a good comparison is Emmanuel Quickly. You know, remember those games where Emmanuel Quickly would have an amazing 30-point outburst, and there'd be games when he didn't do anything offensively. He was streaky, but he played solid D. The good thing is now, uh, third year Emmanuel Quickly is merged into both. Now he's a solid defender and a good consistent scorer as well. So, third year Grimes, fourth year Grimes. Hopefully that's what we get to see, I think. Yeah, much love, Jarvis, and the chat. Streets are buzzing. Appreciate everyone out here rocking out with me and EJ. I can't make it on tonight, but yeah, we out here. We out here, um, having fun this season. This is what it's all about. We're going to get back to the playoffs now. It's inevitable. Back to the playoffs after a down year, and we're all buzzing after this. Got high hopes, realistic expectations though. I think we can win a first round playoff series. I think that would be a real success. But we all know this ain't a finished product. Uh, it's nights like tonight where you have more hope when guys like Barrett show what he showed. Emmanuel Quickly, yeah, leading the team as a lead point guard in Jalen Brunson's absence. This is what has me high for the future of this organization. Sustainable things that we look for throughout the little parts of the games. Deuce McBride, second year player, showing you what he can do, on a team with bigger minutes on the national stage, 17 minutes tonight. You know, a lot of talk that Josh Hart came in and Deuce McBride's not going to see the floor anymore, but tonight lets you know that Tom Thibodeau is a fan, and Tom Thibodeau and all of us were a big fan of Deuce McBride. um, yeah, Obi's minutes as well, very very solid. Small sample size, but this shows to other teams around the league and maybe to the New York Knicks that Obi Toppin is a player. Um, Everyone want to evaluate Toppin's follies in a microscope. In 6 minutes, in 11 minutes. But I keep saying I don't think that's fair for a player to evaluate them in such a small sample size. He's a young player still, and you need to give him a stretch of 10 to 15, 20 games with 30 minutes, like what Grimes is getting, to fully evaluate what Toppin can be, in this league. He's trying to fit into a winning team as well, into a small role. You know, Obi Toppin on Detroit Pistons or the Charlotte Hornets is going to be a completely different role. He's going to be able to try to flash parts of his game and do other stuff. Right now, he's a spot up shooter and he's a leak out transition kind of guy. But Obi stepped up. Very very proud of Obi tonight, stepping up in 12 minutes, and he played a couple solid defensive possessions, which is why Tom Thibodeau left him out on the floor as well, which was big. He was switching. I noticed timely. Was Toppin. He knew where to be, and he wasn't getting beaten. So, are we seeing some small development in Obi Toppin's defensive IQ under Tom Thibodeau? I think for the playoffs, that'll be great because I really hope Obi gets to keep his minutes, in the playoffs, and we at least stick with a 9-man rotation. Yeah, you guys keep it buzzing right now. Questions, thoughts, anything out here as we hit 40 wins. We have a 3-day break next week. The streets is buzzing. Yet Grimes still needs more touches. He is an underrated penetrator and distributor. Yeah, definitely got great instincts. That, like you said, that's part of his DNA. He's a very unselfish player. He played point guard, I think, as a young guy, but his ability to read the game in real time is going to be what separates him from the rest. I think as Grimes develops, he's got good IQ, but I think it's just inexperience right now. I think the longer Grimes is in the NBA, you watch his ability to read and react improve, and I think that's going to be scary. That's going to be scary for other teams. I also like this too. Hart was bringing the ball up, and so was Barrett and Quickly as well. We're not seeing Julius Randle bring the ball up anymore, so big ups to that. And that's going to give those guys a bit of extra breather, like you said, a bit of extra blow. Yep. It reminds you of what the Bulls did with Michael Jordan. Yep, that's great. Also, it allowed our offense to run through quickly and Randall in the half court to play off one another, like Jeff Van Gundy said. Man, I love hearing Jeff Van Gundy on the call. He's a he's a 5-star. He's a 5-star announcer. He's Jeff Van Gundy, unfiltered, calls out the BS. He spots things as it's happening, and he lets you know, man. Um, the last New York Knicks coach to take us to the NBA Finals, announcing Tom Thibodeau coaching us right now, man. Yep. Um, what do you guys think? Do you think Jeff Van Gundy could ever be on MSG? Let's say if Clyde retires or Mike Breen for some reason isn't there anymore, would you be for Jeff Van Gundy on the call? I think that'd be crazy. D Cool says Mitch should be in the game down the stretch, not iHart. I think tonight, though, I think iHart definitely deserved it, but I feel like on most other nights, Mitch will close it out. Yep. Yeah, you also Stanley sees the development in Toppin defensively recently compared to the rookie year. I'd like to see him play more with Randle in the small ball lineups. Yep, that's big too. 21 fast break points tonight was big. So also he gives you that energy, when the offense is stumbling and bumbling, I think in a playoff battle, he could be a big X factor. He could also be rendered a null and void, but he could also on the other side be an amazing X factor in the playoffs, when you need cheap buckets in a grinded out kind of game. The first 40 win season in 10 years, man. I don't know how to feel about that. I really don't. Yeah, I guess for this season, given there's still 12 more games to go, I'm looking up as a positive. I really am. Yep. Yeah, great point Dirty made too. That exact play that I'm thinking of, that where Julius was getting doubled that down late, where Schroeder was nearly stealing the ball, that that had all the makings of highlights and social media viral play. If the Knicks had lost this one, fortunately he was able to stay on the ball and get control of it and kick it out back to quickly. But I think tonight Randle held on to the ball just for that second too long, and one of those big turnovers late as well when he passed it, tried to pass it in the corner, I think, and the man just wasn't there anymore. So, but I mean, you can only afford Randle so much hate because he's gassed at the moment. I mean, what he's doing this season is crazy. Yeah, leading the NBA in minutes and leading the league in minutes and also in no games off, no no load management. Yeah, Van Gundy is very old school though. That can get on your nerves a bit too. I agree. Yep, he does definitely like to vent a lot. I think MSG would have to do an amazing job of filtering him, man. Otherwise he'd just give up. Yeah. Put Van Gundy and Mark Jackson on MSG with Breen. Yeah, that'd be crazy. Spare no expense. If Clyde was to hang up the mic one day, that could be interesting. I think what you're hearing from uh, Jeff is also what you'd be hearing from Tibbs, fam, if he was on the call. I think they look at things very similar. Wally should take Clyde's place when he leaves. Yeah, he might. I think definitely he might. Maybe Hahn. Hahn could be that guy, being groomed into that spot together with Breen. That's going to be interesting. Um, yes, we did actually. We did win 41 and 31 2 years ago, but that was a lot of people looking at that like an asterisk. So, it was a shortened season. Yeah, yeah, it was a shortened season, so I think that's more looked at as an asterisk. This is the first time in an 82 game season that the Knicks have won 40 games already. Salute Jet Life. Let's go. How we feeling after this? Putting our stamp on the West Coast finally now. We got our feet on solid ground. And the Portland game is going to be huge. They're going to be so fired up for that game. It's basically at the point now, if the Knicks beat the Blazers, we could basically end their season because they are third to last out west and in 13th spot. So they're reeling. Talk about reeling right now. The Cam Reddish Bowl with Josh Hart. Yep. Stanley would prefer Bill Pedo to Hahn or Zerbiak, and Dirty would prefer Rebecca Harlow on that situation. B. Willis is in the house. Salute. Um, yeah, with Jalen Brunson now, it seems like it's just precautionary. So that's also another reason to feel giddy tonight. Pulling out this big statement win on the road. Defense got it done, and a big guy stepped up, scoring, and we won the fourth quarter, which was amazing for me. The way this team struggled to finish games out, to hit big free throws, to pass the ball around, avoid the double team. Has this team grown throughout this year? Absolutely. Has this team evolved? Absolutely. Is there still some a reek of those issues earlier though? There is occasionally, but with Jalen Brunson back and experience in the playoffs coming in, Randall's going to have playoff experience. Jalen Brunson brings big playoff experience as well. So I feel good in a 7 game series against the Cavs. Bring it. Let's get it. Yeah. Yeah, it's that feeling, Jet Life, isn't it? It's like finally 3 losses felt like an eternity. after 9 wins in a row. Um, but it don't get no more sweeter than a big road win against LA, against AD, street clothes, D'Angelo Russell trying to go off on us. We won the New York way, which was to block them, to stop them, and to grind it out. So salute. And RJ Barrett's development tonight in the fourth quarter was big. And the shot, 1 of 8. But the one that he hit was the biggest play of the game for me. Yep, I can agree. I suspect Brunson will be back in about 1 week, which is going to be big, fam. Um, that's an extra week of rest, which is big. And he's not going to miss too many games. Yep. Yeah, quickly's done solid. Definitely part of the future stand up. I love IQ in his development, his minutes. And he was 6 of 12, hit both free throws, got us 3 assists and 15 points. But he was minus 11. So I think that was the stretch where D'Lo was going off. Yep. The new Knicks, yeah, salute. Let's go, fam. Let's go. Corey's in the house. I smell a win for the Knicks Tuesday if Lillard does not play because of calf tightness. Well, I think the Blazers better hope he plays because their season's about to go south. They cannot afford to lose another game. I know the West bunched up, but the Blazers are sitting at 2 games out of the play-in of the Oklahoma City Thunder in 10th. So sitting 2 games back, and then the Lakers and the Pelicans ahead of them as well. I think it's a wrap. If we're keeping it real, I think it's a wrap for the Blazers. But yeah, shout out to Monica McNutt too. Absolutely, we got the best in the biz, the best pods, the best chat, the best fan base, the best announcers, the best analysts. Stand up. Um, yeah, she does a great job representing on ESPN now. So moving up, Monica, and giving Stephen A the business on First Take as well. Shout out. B just wants to have more net wins than the Nets this year. Spencer the Thrill will come alive if we don't. Uh, we're all good on that, fam. Don't stress. I think the Nets will lose a few more, and I think the Knicks are built for a great finish. I really do. We're past the toughest stretch now, so we could all breathe a sigh of relief. We have the Pacers twice. We play the Magic. We play the Rockets. We play the Wizards. We play Minnesota, and we play the Heat twice. So we're sitting in a great position for a lot of winnable games now. I think the Blazers one's very winnable now. I think Emmanuel Quickly feels comfortable out there, man. Remember, he hit a 30 piece in his first year. Yep, like you said it too. Yep. Watch for a Cam night. Absolutely, I'll take it though. I'll take Josh Hart giving us 10 steals and the Knicks dub and a Cam Reddish 30 piece, and that'll make everybody happy for one night. I think that'll be nice. A Knicks dub, Josh Hart performance, and a Cam Reddish performance as well. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Yep. Yeah, I think Cam's going to show more improvement because he's going to get more usage. But what's the biggest question about that? Is they're a bad team. You know, the uh, the Portland Trailblazers are a bad team right now, so he's going to get more opportunities. So that's the situation that he didn't get with the New York Knicks. I as much as he thinks it is more personal, I think Tom Thibodeau just has made up his mind about Tibbs kind of guy, and I think he prefers Josh Hart kind of guy over Cam. And yeah, that's also big too. The fact that we are going to get a more rest for Randle, hopefully for Brunson. Um, in fact, that'll be amazing if Julius Randle can sit a few games out before the playoffs. Let that sink in. I don't know if that's going to happen. Uh, it'd be it'd be wishful thinking. But yeah, Tibbs was asked by, I think, Fred Katz, had he ever gone to Julius to ask him to sit out a game, and his response was, "I don't understand the question." Talk about A1 trolling from Tom Thibodeau. That's insane. Yep. Cam can drop buckets and carry that L. It's what he's good at. Man, I think he's definitely going to drop buckets, and the Blazers are going to try to eat that situation up. But like I said, I'll take the dub. I'll take a Josh Hart great performance and the Cam Reddish performance. Yeah, Corey says the Knicks will be going to be 5th seed, and the Brooklyn Nets have the toughest ending schedule. Okay, I appreciate that. I haven't checked the Nets schedule yet, but somebody did say that they play the Cavs twice back to back, so that's going to be big. But basically, fate's in our own hands. Salute King, and I think we always look at the end of every year and we're like, oh, could we finish here? Could we finish there? We don't need to worry about what the other teams are doing, which is a great thing right now. Our fate is in the New York Knicks' hands. We just need to win out now and take care of all these winnable games. Now, I don't care if we lose to the Nuggets. I don't really care if we lose to Minnesota. I don't care if we lose one of the Heat games. But as long as we win the other Heat game and we beat the Pacers twice, we beat the Wizards, we beat the Magic, we beat the Rockets, and we beat the Blazers, we're Gucci, I think. And I think we're going to get 5th spot. Yeah. Obviously, 4th spot's going to be nice, but we, realistically, we have given the Cavs a nice head start. The Cavs sit 3 games ahead of the New York Knicks now, so could it actually be in our best interests for the Nets to beat the Cavs a couple of times, and bring the 4th team closer back down to earth for the Nets and the Knicks to catch them? That could be a situation. But yeah, I think 3 games is going to be tough. We're definitely going to have to rattle off a lot of wins. What's good, Almighty? What did you see from tonight? Yep. It's going to be a huge storyline that the media is going to eat up, though. There's going to be more quotes from Cam. Look out. Yep. Jarvis says, I wished it could have worked out for Cam, but as long as the Knicks keep improving, I'm not too sad about it. Yeah, I feel you on that. I agree. 100%. Yeah. It could be a win-win scenario. Let's be real. Cam did want to get paid. I think that's his biggest problem. That's his biggest not problem, that's his biggest focus, you know. Yeah. That's a worry for me too. Tibbs doesn't believe in the load management, which, let's say we have a situation where the Knicks are in 5th and with 2 games remaining, there's no way that we could possibly not finish 5th. That's when it would be idiotic for Tom Thibodeau to not rest Brunson and Randle. I'm sorry, such as that situation. Like I said, if the Knicks were guaranteed 5th with 2 games remaining, if I was the coach, I would rest Randle and I would rest Brunson. There's no point. But like Stanley said, Thibodeau's probably going to play them. Yeah, like Kevin says, it'd be nice if Randle and Tibbs went out to dinner and missed a game. Yeah. Corey says, what happened to Mitchell Robinson during the game in the second half of the Lakers game? So Mitch was just getting eaten up. Yeah, he was just struggling. He was a minus 15 in 24 minutes. Isaiah Hartenstein was playing really good defense. And basically, Tibbs just didn't go back to him. Yeah, he only had 2 fouls as well. Yep. Yeah, the Hornets game, that hurt. But fortunately, we pulled this one out tonight. But yeah, if the Knicks didn't lose to the Hornets, Almighty, I think 50 wins would have been a real possibility now. But we just got to keep this momentum rolling, 100%. Jarvis says, I would like the Nets to beat the Cavs, but our Knicks need to keep winning and focus on our business. Yep, I agree, 100%. It would be nice to see the Cavs lose, but it'd be a catch-22. I don't want to see the Nets win any more games. But if the Knicks need to catch the Cavs, they need to lose to someone because they're sitting 3 games, in hand, 3 games ahead. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a tough game, though. I don't expect the Cavs to just steamroll the Nets. I could see the Nets winning at least one of them. I really can. D Cool says, I saw a post that said, if you think what Cam is saying is bad, wait until what Obi gets traded. Man, I think Obi's not going to be as open about that. I really think Obi is frustrated, still probably frustrated, but I think he's going to do right by the Knicks. So we have some more post-game quotes for you all, Knicks Streets. Again, Darvin Ham on the Knicks tonight. I thought they were extremely physical. That team is built that way, hard-nosed, tough, outstanding coach, and they're representative of the way Tibbs is. So it's another opposing coach, saying that the Knicks have an identity now. The New York Knicks have an identity. Austin Reeves quotes on RJ Barrett tonight. He's a good player. Obviously gets downhill left and everybody knows it. It's hard to stop. Tip your hat to them. They played a good game. They're scrappy, play really hard, good team, really, really good team. So, yeah, what else could they say but hold this L, you know? Street clothes, Mr. Anthony Davis on the Lakers loss to Randle. Got hot early, did Julius. RJ at the end, offensive rebounds, extra possessions for them. We calmed Julius down a bit, then RJ made plays for them. Yep, so absolutely. Yep, 100%. Those guys calling it like they see it. I just think we had too much for them. Nick Streets, which says so much about our team now, where we're at. Now, the Lakers have added depth with Malik Beasley, Vanderbilt, D'Lo, Hachimura, but still weren't enough to overcome the New York Knicks' depth. With guys like Josh Hart, unsung heroes Deuce McBride, Isaiah Hartenstein, Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickly. These are the guys we got to shout out for holding us down tonight as well. And this is off a down night from Mitch and a down night from Grimes as well. So this is what's going to win us playoff games, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, if some guys don't have it going, but other guys buckle down and play good defense, we're a chance to win any night. And of course, we did waive Moses Brown, like Manchild says, and we signed Trevor Keels again. Welcome back, old friend. Kevin says he saw Mitch limping pretty badly when he came out. I must have missed that. I hope that's nothing serious. I thought it was more just play, but that does make sense. Almighty says it might be a hot take, but if Randle struggles in the playoffs, I think he will be traded in the off-season. I mean, nothing's impossible, but it would have to be, for me, I think for that to happen, it would have to be a major struggle. A major struggle, given the season he's had. Corey, do I hope that the Knicks beat Portland with or without Lillard? I hope that we beat the Blazers with Lillard. I think that'd be nice. Yep. RJ wanted to show out for Denzel. Here, facts on Oscar night. Salute. Yep. La La Land. The Knicks Nation wanted to shine tonight. Yeah, maybe we're gonna regret Moses Brown. I don't know. I think I like him as a player more than Trevor Keels, but I think they had a good look at Moses, and I think maybe they they feel like maybe they could pick him up next season as well. Maybe for the agent of Trevor Keels, and the fact that we drafted him, maybe we wanted to make a good deal with that. Um, but yeah, he's a freak athlete. He's long. He's just raw. He's trying to put it all together, I think. Um, but yeah, I think it's not too much about the players. I think it's all about the politics. I don't know if Trevor Keels is with CAA, but I won't be surprised. Also, the fact that we drafted Keels, we probably wanted to give him some financial security as well, on the two-way. Um, but we also did Moses Brown a solid. He got paid for 4 days work. He got 10-day deal. He got to play. He got to show what he can do in the gym for a few days. And who knows? We might see him back. Um, but I tell you, who we're not gonna lose, who we're not gonna give up. Josh Hart. Josh Hart is gonna here to stay with Emmanuel Quickly. Those guys are priority number one in off season. Forget about trading RJ or getting that extra wing. I think the first order of business, and this is even before the playoffs begin, is that I think Josh Hart is going to get re-signed. He's going to decline the player option, and I think Emmanuel Quickly is going to get extended as well. He's going to get a healthy extension, man, because what he's showing us with Brunson out is that he can be that starting point guard now in the NBA, going up against D'Lo, going up against Schroeder. I think Emmanuel Quickly has arrived now. Yeah, Van Gundy did say Denzel is a Knicks fan, so that's crazy. Kills is not with CAA, okay? So yeah, it might just be the case of we drafted him, I think. But yeah, Knicks Nation, we always love debating the end of the bench guys. I think it's more to do with just finances probably rather than the player at this point, because the Knicks got what they got now. What's been crazy is we don't even play Derrick Rose anymore. We don't play Evan Fournier, who's making 17 milli. Let that sink in. You know, two dudes on our roster that are making $30 million combined and not even sniffing the court at this point. That tells you how bizarre this season has been. It's just been absolutely insane. Um, what's also great though is that money is coming off the books, which is great. And I think that money is just going to go straight from their bank account to Emmanuel Quickly and Josh Hart's bank account. A direct swap, I think. Yeah, like Corey says, Evan Fournier is on a team option, fam. Yeah, I think Evan Fournier is on a team option. So yeah, they can decline it. Almighty would trade IQ for a wing. It would have to be a very good wing, but I think IQ has amazing value now around this league. So he's definitely a guy who would get back a solid piece. In terms of IQ's extension, I think he's going to get a solid 4-year extension. I think it's going to be something around maybe close to 15 mil. I really think he's going to get. Actually, he's probably going to get more than that. I really think like Josh Hart will probably get 15 to 16, and I think Emmanuel Quickly might get 17, 18. You guys tell me what do you feel like IQ's worth, basically on what he's shown? Yeah. Wouldn't it be funny if he's resting D Rose for the playoffs, man, and then he unleashes an MVP Derrick Rose in the playoffs? That'd be crazy. Yep, 100%. You can re-sign your own players, whether you have cap space or not. Yep. It's called the bird rights. We have these guys bird rights, which is great. But we also do have cap room if we want it for a free agent. So let's see. Drip more. What's good, fam? Salute. Yeah, Fournier's option is in 1 more year. Sorry, unfortunately. So yeah, 1 more year, and then it's an expiring salary. Derrick Rose salary is coming off the books, but we could easily trade Fournier. That's where it's at. Basically, a team would still be open to taking Fournier, knowing that money is coming off. I think, yeah, we are looking for that wing that fits this team. Realistically, a guy who can shoot, catch and shoot, lights out, doesn't need to be on the ball. But I tell you, tonight, RJ's performance, if he could play under control, that gives me hope. You know, I'm not going to rule out a big summer of development for RJ Barrett to fit this team. He takes that next step, and he's like that guy that we're hoping we could get, and he's already here. So I think that's a big thing, a big factor to look out for. I think there's Team Canada in the off season, and RJ Barrett another year, more continuity. I'd honestly be okay if we brought this squad back for another year just to see. But of course, a lot's going to have to happen from between now and the playoffs, and a lot of that is going to shape what this team does. But I do like Oubre, I like OG, I like Mikal, I like Cam Johnson. Yep, 100%. Yeah, the mid level is going to be interesting as well. But the good thing is we have our core guys locked up. Maybe we trade Toppin. Hartenstein's probably going to stay the way he's playing. Deuce McBride's under contract. Josh Hart will be under contract. So yeah, we got a solid squad that we will continue with. Jalen Brunson's contract is going to be descending, which is amazing. Julius Randle's contract is a good contract as well when the salary cap goes up. So Leon Rose has got some flexibility, man. Brock Aller has got some flexibility. And we have 2 of our 3 big 3, I believe now, with Julius Randle hitting 21 30-point games on the season and Jalen Brunson on 16. So these guys have had themselves an insane year, and all NBA or MIP. Let's talk about it. Woj was talking about Jalen Brunson still being potentially all NBA. So not just Julius Randle, but Jalen Brunson could be that guy that missed out on All-Star, but ends up an All NBA. Would be great. But yeah, it's been a huge season for these guys. And tonight, yeah, it just relieved everybody with this big win now. And we can look forward to the next one against the Portland Trail Blazers, man, as we get ready to wrap this baby up. It's been a great show. And we look ahead to orange and blue skies right here. The New York Knicks fan base has arrived. And we hear the playoffs are going to be big. No one knows what's going to happen. But it's all eyes on the playoffs, baby. That's where the real bread is earned for this situation. Tom Thibodeau is going to be watched by this front office. Julius Randle's performance. How good can Jalen Brunson be in the playoffs when he gets healthy? Is going to be big. And I'm feeling really good about our chances. I really am. I think Brunson's going to be awesome in the playoffs. He's done it in the Western Conference Finals. He's a big game player. So is Josh Hart, Emmanuel Quickly. These guys are built for the moment, you know. And that's what's got me high on this chance to go on a deep playoff run. But we need to get healthy, man. So we need to get Brunson back. But let's get it. ladies and gentlemen. 40 piece on the season now, 40 and 30. And we're holding firm to that tied 5th spot. Trying to catch the Cleveland Cavaliers and jockey with the Brooklyn Nets. I'm looking like we can get it on that. I really feel like we'll get it, fam. A peace to everyone out here. Many blessings. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, man. Streets are buzzing. Smashing that like button. Let's go.